If you're a great bartender, you need to be running yourself like a business. And I hope you notice how I said great bartender, because a lot of times the bartenders that you work with are not that great. Sometimes they can fill the hole, they can fill the gaps, but they're not great. But I think if they were to switch their mindset and to think of themselves as a business, as a vendor working behind a bar that is another business, I think everybody would approach the game a whole lot differently. So my name is John Pittman. I'm a former bartender. I was in the game for 10 years, started off in Houston, moved out to Miami to kind of get into the big leagues of bartending. And then out here, I ended up getting an opportunity to connect with one of my regulars and got a job out of the industry, one of those fairy tale stories. But the industry that I ended up transitioning to was a business consultant industry, a lot of advisory. And what happened after I've been with this company for almost 2 years is I realized that we were kind of doing this stuff as bartenders already at a guerrilla style warfare level. So that made me want to start creating content around helping bartenders realize how they can start making more money out of what they do by bringing some of these corporate tactics over to the guerrilla tactics. But with that said, I think there is a lot of opportunity for bartenders to make money outside the bar as well. But I think it all comes down to your background though. Some bartenders, they come into the bar already experienced, already with that grind mindset. They come in knowing how to get a dollar, already knowing how to build relationships, knowing how to do outreach, know how to do a lot of things to fill up a bar. But a lot of people come in a lot raw, especially some of the barbacks that I would train who would eventually become bartenders. They come in at the age of 18, they just got done working at McDonald's or something like that, and they were actually the ones who would pre-bus and clean off the bar. And they would come in, obviously want bartending money, and I would look at them like, oh, you're not ready yet. And so I would take a lot of them under my wing, and it was really one of the more fulfilling parts of my job. So with that trainer mindset, I've kind of taken it with me into my next role, which is business advisory. And now I want to give back to bartenders. So either you can become the best bartender you can and make more money that way, or you can start transitioning out of the bartending industry and start developing some entrepreneurial venture of yours. But at the end of the day, you got to be a great bartender first to do either one of those. So let's start there. I always wanted to make sure I put people in the right place, but since I'm not there and looks like you want to make some money, you need to figure out where your right place is. So like say if you came from being a Starbucks barista and you want to make money as bartending, well, you probably need to find a bar where you can just crank out drinks as fast as humanly possible. Now, if you're somebody who's probably had some history being a real estate agent, you like long drawn out conversations, you probably need to go to more of a slow paced bar, like a cocktail bar. But most of the times, if the wrong personality ends up at the wrong bar, nobody's happy. The bartenders that you're working with, they don't like you, I'm gonna be honest with you. And then there's also yourself, who's not gonna like the pace because it's not compatible with your personality. So that's rule one. Figure out what type of bar environment is perfect for you. I think another big aspect that people need to take into consideration when you're working in the hospitality industry, is maintaining a really good self-care routine. I don't know if you noticed, but most of the bars you go to, your favorite bars, those people are pretty decently attractive. That's because you really got to take care of yourself. And even while you're in the industry, you got to make sure you take care of yourself, because it's a lifestyle that can make you unattractive. Long, late nights, a lot of alcohol, shitty fast food. So taking all this stuff into consideration is something that really could start impacting the money you make. So me, I used to be 260 pounds. I guarantee you that I probably would not got hired as a bartender unless I lost that weight. But at the same time, if I gain that weight, I don't think while I'm working as a bartender, knowing that they probably wouldn't fire me, but if I gain that weight, I think it would hurt my guest connection and compatibility, and ultimately the guests are the ones who are going to be tipping me. But with this healthy routine, I think just making sure you take care of your sleep schedule is going to be critical. I know I used to get off of work 3, 4 a.m., but being able to go home, shut it down immediately, and wake up and salvage my next day was something that helped me stay in a really good rhythm. But I know there's a lot of bartenders I work with, they say they would get home and they couldn't wind down. They had to watch some TV, and then they're not getting to bed at 6, 7 a.m. Well, you know what that means? You're not waking up to 2 p.m. That means you got to be at work at 4 p.m. And I don't think that's a good runway to get yourself in a good energy, good vibe to get to work and give off great ambiance. I think when it comes to drinking, you got to have some rules in place. I know when I would get to work, right off rip, I would have customers trying to buy me shots. I'm like, bro, it is 5:30 p.m. You know I'm going to be here another 12 hours. Obviously, you're not supposed to drink at work, but you really got to take care of yourself when it comes to this standpoint, because right now you're serving people who are having the best time of their life every single day, even though, of course, it's rotating people. But in your world, it's like, okay, yeah, it's your birthday. Yeah, it's this going on. Oh, you just got a good promotion. I love all that. I can't take shots with you guys. I'm sorry. I got to work out tomorrow. Otherwise, I won't make money. So definitely you need to start having rules in place for your drinking. Start having pre-planned drinking days out. Like that was one of my big things. Like, yo, I don't drink on these days. I only drink at this time. I only do this type of stuff. And eventually the rest of the world, they'll get in order. But you got to get yourself in order first. The biggest thing that you should take out of this video is really work on building relationships. Like I said, I ended up getting a chance to have a new opportunity in a new industry because of a relationship I built. But ultimately, how I kept my bar full all the time was the relationships that I built. It was too many bartenders that I would work with who would just not know anybody's name. Like, it got to the point where as I was transitioning out the industry, I was only working 2 days a week. But I would come in on Friday, every single Friday. I see the same guy all the time. And these other bartenders who are here every day, I'm like, yo, by the way, what's his name? I know he's out here all the time. They're like, I don't know, I just call him Babe. I'm like, what? Y'all are wildin'. Y'all realize if you start using people's names and start creating a connection with them, you make more money. It's really that simple. It's not hard. It's not something you don't have to learn how to draw. You don't have to learn how to sing to do these things. Just go talk to people, get to know them. I mean, my favorite thing to do to break the ice is to give out a shot, you know. Bam. You just walk up like, yo, I like you guys. How you guys doing? What's your name? Katie? Oh, what's up, man? Ashley? Mel. You take shots around here. Bam, just like that. You get to know somebody. So that's always a good move. If you're a girl, you can always ask them to take shots. I mean, honestly, I've been a couple girls I work with who get guys to take shots for no reason at all. Guys, it's 12:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. These guys are here for lunch, getting a burger, and now they got a $300 tab just simply because these girls are asking them to take shots. You know, figure out ways to communicate with your people to build up that camaraderie, so that way when people think about wanting to go out to get a drink, they think about coming to you. Now, when you have a bunch of people doing that, all it takes is 20 or 30 people at a time to do that, and now you have a full bar all the time. And I know how I said earlier, like the great bartenders are the ones who are getting the lion's share of the shift, the tips and things like that. I need you to understand that being good is not enough if you really want to make impact in this industry or any industry. Because just because you think that bartending is just a side time hobby, just know this: when you go to another industry, you're going to be mediocre there as well. So you need to start figuring out what you need to do personally from a personal development standpoint of how you can start maximizing any opportunity that you're in. Because when you start having that mindset, you're killing it. Because I'll tell you right now, I work in the corporate world, and a lot of them don't have that same tenacity that I've seen with some of the hospitality workers that I've been around. That I'll work 14 days straight, 12-hour shifts, eating French fries, standing up, black out 3 of those days out of the 14, get back to work. Like, yo, that's soldier work. But now imagine if you were good at doing your job with that grind and then had business ideas that you want to build upon. Can't nobody stop you. You gotta start taking care of your time management. So just like I said, somebody's working 14 days in a row. Why are you working 14 days in a row? You need to start sectioning out your days. Work a couple doubles so you can have free time. And then with your free time, you need to start understanding what your plans are going to be for the day. Not waking up 2 p.m. because you stayed up to 6 a.m. Then now you're getting to work. Now you didn't get a chance to prepare any food. Now you're ordering food at work, eating fast food. Now it's fucking up your self-care routine. So all this stuff is a ripple effect. It all comes down to time management. But at the same time, time management happens behind the bar as well. Like when you're going about grabbing orders, you're consolidating tasks. You don't go take one margarita order, go make the margarita, then go back out and pay them out. Like, you know, you take everybody in that corner's order, get the card, then you make moves. But you need to take that mindset and apply it to your real life and then make sure they're feeding each other. This is how you turn into a great bartender, and this is how your great bartending skills can transfer over to other business ventures as well. Marketing is going to be huge. I think it's something that's not talked about enough at the bartender level. We've gotten so comfortable to restaurants creating brand names for themselves that we forget that we are personal brands ourselves. You got to realize people can go anywhere for a vodka soda, but you got these people that are pulling up on you because they want to talk to you and get that drink that you make. That's dope. What about making more people like that? Well, that means you got to start marketing yourself. Going out there, giving out your phone number, giving out your Instagram, making sure you stay in touch with people, knowing people's birthdays, knowing significant things. And it just builds on my building relationship point that I made earlier. But you got to market yourself. One of my favorite things to do is start inviting people out to events. You know, like I'm off on Sunday. What are you guys up to? Let's go watch some football. Man, you do that? Yo, why you out on Sunday? Yo, come see me on Monday. I work. Bam, just like that. You got 6, 7 people pull up at your bar. Or you out at other bars, talking to other bartenders like, yo, where's your off day? Oh, you're off on Monday? Yo, come pull up on me. All of this stuff is marketing. So you need to be pulling strategies out like that because those same strategies are going to transfer over into the business world, if you ever want to transition into some type of entrepreneurship mode, is how can I get people to come visit my business? And once again, you are the business, you are the product. Just to build on my last point, inviting people out that you are serving at the bar, a lot of these people are your target audience. You need to start figuring out what they like to do, where they like to go hang out. And when you do that, you can start inviting them back to the bar to help make sure that you have a consistent running business going on. And the same thing is going to happen if you have a business. If you're selling, some very specific product to a niche audience, you need to make sure you go straight to where those people are at. Another way for you to start connecting with a lot of the regulars that come into your bar, I think you should start learning. Yeah, start doing some self-education. Start diving into different books, different podcasts, different episodes like that, because now it gives you some content to talk about even with people you don't have anything in common with. Just imagine that. You're working in the finance part of town. If you were to go ahead and get the Wall Street Journal and go ahead and read a couple pages before you go into work, bam, you can talk about, did you hear the news about FTX going, bankrupt? Bro, that provides so much value. Now these people recognize you as a thought leader, as a bartender. Now they're more likely to come there because they are starting to feel like they get some value. Once again, it's a little bit more valuable than just a vodka soda. I think money management has to be talked about. If you're going to be a bartender, a great bartender, you got to know how to manage your money. Managing your money is something that is not taught in the industry. We are making it fast. We are spending it fast. We're over tipping and we're doing everything wrong. Sometimes we're upgrading our lifestyles to a spot where if we were to break our leg, we wouldn't be able to afford it. And we don't even think about that. But more importantly, I think money management plays into time management as well, because just imagine if your lifestyle didn't cost so much, you wouldn't have to work so much. And now you can spend more time doing the things that you really like to do. Work on business ideas, seeing your family, seeing your friends, working on your relationships. So I think that if you can figure out how to manage your money, then you can really start controlling your future in this industry. Nobody in the service industry is ever talking about taxes or repairing their credit. I think that's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more. And so that way people can start having an opportunity to scale up in their lives, because really chasing the bag only is not the way to financial freedom. You need to start putting these pillars in place so that way now you can prosper going forward. Don't be afraid to be a self-starter. Definitely when you walk around the bar, you're seeing stuff broke, don't be afraid to go ahead and fix it without having to ask for management help. All of this stuff affects your money. And it's the same thing with real life. You need to make sure that you are seeing what's going on around you, recognizing it that it's as a problem that needs a solution. This is a business mindset. This is an entrepreneur mindset. All you're really doing is finding problems and then finding solutions and getting paid for it. When you're a bartender, that problem is people want to get lit. The solution is give them sauce. Sometimes when it's creating an actual product that people want to use out here in the real world, it could be a software app. It could be some type of new innovation to cars. Who knows, man? Just start having that mindset of, I'm a self-starter, I don't need permission. Then you'll start acting on all the different ideas that you have. But I'm glad you guys stuck it out. It's my first video. I think that a lot more to come, a lot more sauce for bartenders. If you guys have any suggestions on topics, let me know. I actually got a book coming out right now. It's really going over the 10 lessons I learned and that I'm taking into business as well. So if you want to check that out, hit me up, bartender2CEO.com. There's actually going to be a link right below as well. You can check it out. That's it for me. I'll see you guys next week.